Do you have any thoughts and predictions, Andre, as we go into this match between two of our Titans in Division 1?
TT1 is the man, but he's going to lose to PuMa. Love you, TT1.
How can you bet against PuMa? Good lord, he's just unstoppable.
He's 6-0, 11 points. Go and brush your shoulders off.
At MLG, by the way. He made it to the pool play and got #1. Of course, he got stopped by Tongray Goo, but then again, a lot of people did. So there's no shame. PuMa's been playing phenomenally, and he's been able to really level it up to the point where PuMa is legitimately one of the top players in the world.
Did you actually see the match of him against Alicia?
No, I didn't get
that. Was actually insanely good. I highly recommend you guys to watch that for TVP. He did lose, spoiler, LOL, sorry guys. But man, that was such a great game. The one on Cloud Kingdom, I was just like flabbergasted with the correct decision-making skills that these players have. I mean, go watch it, guys. Go watch after this broadcast.
All right, well, let's maybe also after this introduction. In the bottom right, we have PuMa. Lee Jo-hoon from Team Evil Geniuses, as PuMa is currently 6-0 in his division and 11 points up, which means he's won 11 more games than he's lost. Now this player in the top left, he is a TT1 from Team MTW. TT1 5-2, but only 2 points, and he can actually still position himself for the playoffs if he wins and Stefano loses, regardless of his points.
Now, I do want to mention one thing. PuMa has lost a single game in the NASL group stages. A single game.
Yeah, just one game. Just one game.
A single out of every single match.
That was the game that Braddock.
Isn't that crazy?
TBT game, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It took an inspirational, one of the best moments of StarCraft 2, in Gretorp's opinion, to win a game off PuMa.
Yeah.
It's like that time Braddock reached into his jar of miracles and finally pulled that one.
Dude, that was insane. I'm so glad that you brought that up because I love that. I love that game, baby. Anyway,
I love what TT1's doing. He's going for a Nexus first, and it's just because PuMa's been playing macro more and more. And, PuMa used to be, again, another player that everyone considered, wow, just 1-1-1, 1-1-1. But PuMa's been stepping up his macro as well, showing he's got a lot of ability to pump units out, even while controlling the way he does.
Now, you've been a big proponent of this build, actually. Why don't you go and talk about it, as it is a Forge Fast expansion via Protoss. Normally, Protoss do this against Zergs, but this has actually been incorporated into the metagame a little bit. Why don't you go ahead and explain it?
Yeah, so Forge Fast Expand is to pretty much make yourself completely vulnerable early on, so you can have the most ridiculous mid game where Protoss usually struggle against Terran. Of course, when they get the first Vikings out and their medevacs out, Protoss can't really establish that third base. Terran's pressuring all the time. But when you set up the Forge Fast Expand, you can get your upgrades, you have gas flexibility, and for the most part, Terran can't really pressure you without gas. So if you know your opponent's not going for any kind of gas, the only thing it can do is Marine and SCV all in you, and even if you get up a second and third cannon, you'll be safe, because cannons do surprisingly well against Marines in terms of range and DPS. Now, what's really cool is that the Forge Fast Expand gives you a lot of flexibility. You're not limited by styles. In fact, the other day I saw a Protoss, I think it was Crank from Slayers, go Forge Fast Expand into a third Nexus and double cannon both expansions, while Terran was trying to play greedy and go for third command center.
Yes.
So you have so much flexibility to play heavy macro, or you can follow up with even just a 2-base all-in, which is what TT1 is capable of. He can play macro or play 2-base.
The mind games that go along with this build is just insane.
Yeah.
You do need to actually coin flip a little bit. The coin flip is the wrong word, but you need to take risks.
A little bit,
so you need to take a lot of risks and assume your opponent isn't doing a specific style. TT1 is probably doing the most standard style, I would say, from a Forge Fast expansion, getting the very early +1 attack and probably just massing up in a ton of gateways and in warp gate tech. And off of this, I think the most common thing that we've seen is actually High Templars from here. High Templars are really good just because it goes along with your gateways. You can actually mass a ton of gateways and then just sort of assign your gateways to make a certain amount of units, not overdoing it, not making it a little bit too tough. Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh. SCVs are being pulled, and PuMa is going to really mix it up here. And oh no, TT1 doesn't have a second cannon. He's only got one Zealot out into the field at this point because he's been focusing all his Chrono Boost on probes and his +1 armor.
Here we go.
And PuMa is going to start moving up the ramp. TT1, is he going to be prepared? He does have one Zealot, but immediately gets surrounded. Oh no, a huge loss indeed. TT1 forced to pull all of his probes, but that cannon will not be able to get to the Marines in time, and PuMa is able to really follow with lots of aggression because of the greediness from TT1. Not getting out his gateways in time. You can see 4 more gateways were in production. If PuMa struck a minute too late, it would have been absolutely too late. But you can see PuMa also placing buildings to stall the probes from being able to get the surround. A great micro tactic, even using the force field as part of his advantage. Look at the control from PuMa. You can see TT1 does get the surround, but there are way too many Marines. He's going to suffer incredible losses.
Yeah, and +1 armor is just about to finish. What a great timing for PuMa, and PuMa is taking a massive lead. Income tab shows 29-14. Don't forget about those beautiful mules,
my God,
too.
The bunker finish, and he's trying to prevent him from getting in, but laugh out loud. PuMa gets inside the base with the bunker. Now, if TT1 wasn't screwed before, he is now.
Yep, GG. There it is.
GG.
PuMa will go on to take it 1-0, and a very, very easy game for him. You know, the cannon was slightly weakened from before, and then he was just like, well, I'm just going to go with it. And he goes with it. Marine SCV, pretty good.
Well, you know, that was a pretty straightforward game. Now, what's interesting is that TT1, that means immediately he wants to play macro against PuMa. He's not going to try to 4-gate him on Bel'Shir Beach or even warp gate pressure and really try to, you know, play like more of a Huck aggressive style, get ahead because you think your opponent's playing greedy, and then from there ride an advantage. He says, I want to play macro, so
yeah.
Maybe TT1's got it in him. He's not out of the series just yet, but
yeah,
that's tough.
I think one thing we could have seen from TT1 is better SimCity. That might have given him the chance to do things, but the fact of the matter is Bel'Shir Beach is a little bit difficult to do a Forge Fast expansion, not like a map like Ohana where
Daybreak.
Or Daybreak, yeah, where you can actually take a pretty critical position, which is one of the watchtowers, and you can actually see one of those things coming. That didn't obviously happen in this game, and he paid the price for it with a very nice surprise with SCVs and Marines.
I want to talk about that game, but let's thank Kingston HyperX and Kate's commercial. Kingston HyperX, the company that provides SSD and memories for just the Sunday showdowns as well as just for the studio. Thanks, Kingston HyperX. We'll be back with game number 2 between TT1 versus PuMa. Don't go anywhere. The series is just getting started.